Hi and welcome back to the channel and another news segment. We haven't done one of these for absolutely ages and I can't even remember when the last time was, but there's been a lot of interesting BMW news over the last couple of months, namely being the BMW i4 concept being unveiled. Well, it was meant to be unveiled at Geneva, but for various reasons the Geneva was cancelled, so they did a live stream. The new BMW badge, which has caused a lot of controversy, and thirdly, a new release, a new leak of a picture of the front end of the new G80 M3, G82 M4. So let's start with the i4 concept first, and then we'll run through the other subjects. Starting with the BMW i4 concept, it's going to be a very important car for BMW because it's going to be up against the best car in that segment, which is at the moment the Tesla Model 3. That car is selling in huge numbers all over the world, and this is a really important model for BMW because the i4 needs to be better than the Tesla Model 3 and basically outsell it for it to be successful. Now, we do have a Tesla Model 3 as part of our fleet. We haven't actually made any videos on it because we find our other stuff a bit more interesting. But my business partner uses it for his daily commute. And to be honest, the commute he does, he is a petrol head, but for him, it's like the perfect car. He can put it on autopilot on the motorway. It's very comfortable. And yeah, it doesn't use any fuel. He just plugs it in when he gets to work and then he goes back home again. And he repeats that every couple of days. So let's start with the obvious part of the i4, which is the looks. Now, this car has the same kind of front end that we've seen on the 4 concept, which has already been very controversial. You're probably wondering, why do you need huge grills on the front of an electric car? Obviously, for a petrol car, it's obvious you need to get the airflow to the engine and the airbox. But what about the electric car? Well, BMW is saying it's left them that big because it's going to house all of the radars and computers that are needed for the self-drive part of this car. I have to admit, I didn't like this design at first, but I'm slowly coming round to it. What about you guys? Do you hate it just as much as it was first revealed, or are you beginning to warm to it? As a BMW fan, you've got two choices. Either you don't buy a BMW or you accept it and you kind of grow to like it. I am growing to like it, and I didn't think I would do. On the 4 concept, it does look really aggressive. On the road version of the car, I'm not sure how much of that's going to translate over. So this i4 concept, BMW is saying it's around 85% of what we will actually see from the road car. I think apart from the front grille, leaving that aside, the design of the car is actually pretty nice. It's not as cool as the initial renders that we saw, but I think it's a good looking car. I don't think the color that BMW have launched it in has done it any favors. It's kind of a matte bronzy color with blue highlights. I don't think it quite goes, but the design of the front bumper, the lights, the silhouette of the car, they actually look pretty good. The rear end of the car I really like. The lights look really cool, and the only thing I don't like is I think the diffuser looks a bit weird. It looks like it should have exhaust there, which it doesn't. And it's a bit slab-sided on the bumper, but overall I do like the look of the car. The wheels are another aspect of the car I think that could probably do with a change. I think that car with a color change and some different wheels will probably look absolutely fantastic. My favorite part of this car is the interior. It looks absolutely stunning. I do like that whole minimalist aspect of the car. I like that in my interior in my house. So for me, I look at that interior and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. The Tesla Model 3 is very sparse inside. It's actually too minimalist, I think. But I think BMW have got a really good blend of keeping it minimal and really stylish at the same time. I really like the colors and the textures and fabrics they've used inside the car. And I do really like that double screen going across, which will house all of the car's entertainment and information system. Moving on to the powertrain and performance of this car. It has 530 horsepower. That's a lot of power. You're talking about F80 M3 tuned power. That's provided by BMW's 5th generation eDrive technology. and it can do 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds and has a top speed of 124 miles an hour. Yes, these electric cars are really fast, but practically speaking, what is the range? Because that is what's really going to sell the car. Well, under WLTP rules, they are saying that the range of this car is 373 miles, which is quite a lot. In the real world, we don't know how much that's going to translate into, but I think the EPA figure of 270 miles is probably going to be more realistic. And it's really going to have to be closer to 300 to really take some market share from the Tesla Model 3. Obviously, we don't know how this car is going to drive at the moment, but it is an electric car that's been developed by an existing car manufacturer. Just like the Porsche Taycan has been receiving rave reviews from people, I believe that BMW i4 will drive like a 4 Series, so it will be really good to drive, and hopefully that will give it an edge over the Tesla Model 3 also. The other really important factor with the electric car is where you can charge it. Now, this is where Tesla does have the upper hand because they've been putting the infrastructure in for a number of years now. And it's going to be really interesting to see how BMW are going to cope with that. It looks like there are a number of car manufacturers that are banding together to get that infrastructure in place. But at the moment, Tesla does have the edge on that for sure. Moving on to one of two very controversial topics. The first one being the BMW logo redesign. So not only did they reveal the i4 concept, but on the i4 concept, if you paid close attention, they actually had a new badge. Now, BMW haven't redesigned that badge for probably around 23 years. I think 1997 was the last time it had a redesign. This badge is very flat, it's very transparent, and I think it actually does suit the iCars, but are they going to translate that over to road cars? We don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it works? Do you like it? Do you not like it? How would you feel about all new BMWs coming with this new logo? Now, the idea behind it is because it's transparent, you can see the body color underneath it, and it's about BMW being open and transparent and having clarity in their vision. This week, we also saw another leak of the front end of the G80 M3 and the G82 M4. It looks like it's a white car. I'm not quite sure. It looks like it's actually taken on a potato. It's not the clearest of pictures, but it does cement the fact that BMW are going all in on the large grills. So all you guys who are thinking, oh no, it's just a hoax or it's not going to happen, be prepared, it's coming and it's real. The picture does the car no favors whatsoever, but I'm really going to reserve judgment until I see the car in its entirety. Just like we did with the i4 concept, when you see it on the car as a whole, I think you understand where they're going with it. But from a small leaked photo, it's very difficult to tell and it's not flattering at all. So what do you guys think? If you were in a position to buy the new M3 or M4, would that be enough for you to cancel your orders because they're going to go with this whole large grille concept? And it looks like that is the new design language. They are moving forward with it. And if you thought that it was a hoax or they were just pulling people's legs, I think you're going to be very disappointed. So that's the news for this week. Plenty of topic to discuss, plenty of controversial things from BMW this week. Let us know in the comments if you think the i4 can take on the mighty Tesla Model 3, what you think of the logo design, and whether you like the new G82 M4 and G80 M3, and whether you think that big grille is going to actually ruin the car and actually stop people buying it. So that's the news. If you want to watch more BMW related news, you can watch that over here. If you'd like to watch something YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. Now, if you did like the video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you've got any questions, you can put those in the comments for us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.